There we
Welcome
go.
back.
Yes.
I'm so confused.
I know
Welcome back.
Don Ledford
Oh,
wanted to say hello real quick. So
Well, hello, Don. We're here with Tracy Shellhouse. On to a better note. Tracy Shellhouse and Delaney Walker are with us from New Hope Pregnancy Center, and they're here to talk about their upcoming event in April. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Well, we always love you guys being here and always sharing with us the good news of what's going on with New Hope. And you've got an event coming up in April at Discover Hope. I love that.
Yes. Yes, it's our spring banquet.
Yeah, we are going to have it on Thursday, April 13th. It's going to be at First Baptist, and we are going to have Sean Carney of 40 Days for Life be our guest speaker. We're pretty excited.
That's wonderful. And what all does Sean Carney do, if you don't mind? I know Josh is working on a picture of him, but tell us a little bit about his background.
Well, Shawnee, gracious, just shoved both of his names together. Sean Carney has been involved with pro-life organizations since he was in college. He started volunteering, and he was such an effective and passionate volunteer that they actually made him, I think, the CEO of the...
They made him the executive director of the
Executive
Coalition
director.
for Life in Texas, which incorporated about 60 pro-life churches that were active in the grassroots movement.
It was right out of college.
Wow.
Yeah, I was trying to wrap my brain around that. I was like, what would it be like to be the executive director right out of college?
It's a calling.
Yeah.
It is.
It is. And since then, he's remained heavily active. They launched the 40 Days for Life, which is, praying and fasting for 40 days, having like prayer vigils outside of abortion clinics, Planned Parenthood
Yes.
sites, for the course of the 40 days. And he's a co-founder and currently the president of 40 Days for Life.
He is. In the time that they have been doing 40 Days for Life, if I am not mistaken, and I could be getting this wrong, I think close to over 1,000 women have made the choice, rather than to walk into that abortion clinic, to choose life for their babies. And more than 100 women, men and women, have come out of that industry, those that were workers, such as Abby Johnson, which a lot of people are familiar with Abby Johnson. She was the director of a Planned Parenthood in Texas, and she actually was the director of the Planned Parenthood that was right beside Sean's office. When 40 Days for Life opened, they went and got a new facility right beside the Planned Parenthood. And so they've been very gently and lovingly reaching out. This is a speaking the truth in love movement. And so finally, when Abby got to a point that she could no longer reconcile her spiritual beliefs with what she was doing in the clinic, she walked across to Sean's office and walked in and said, "How can you help me get out?" And they did.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, when you put it that way, that seems very like, she's part of the mafia. Can you help me get out? You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is once you're in that industry, first thing, generally, most of the time they make a lot of money. And there are incentives to hit quotas, and there are bonuses and so forth for performing so many abortions. And that's not something that's often talked about, but people that have come out of the industry have been very transparent about that, Abby being one of those people. But what happens too is that is your work history. And so sometimes getting out, it is difficult to find another job. If you've been in the abortion industry, maybe that's where you've been practicing as a nurse or an LPN, or you have been an administrator, such as Abby was. Sometimes it's difficult to make that transition. First thing, to give up your income. And for some people, depending on their position, it's lucrative. And then all of a sudden, you're out of work, and you were in such an industry that it often makes it difficult to find other employment quickly. And so that's a very important focus for those that are coming out, is how do we help them? Because we love and care about those that are also performing the abortions, those that are running the clinics. We recognize that they are just as loved and just as unique and important as the women and the babies that they carry in their wombs as they're walking into those clinics. So if we're going to encourage them to no longer perform abortions, then we need to stand with them and help them find employment and help them get on with their life when they choose a new chapter.
That's something I'd never thought about, actually. The people coming out of those workplaces
Yes.
and how difficult it may be. And I don't know, and they just view things totally differently. It's not a life. And I can understand their thinking, where I don't agree with it at all. But yes, to come out of that and then try to find work somewhere else, that's fascinating.
It is, and so that's one of the great benefits of having Carney speak at our spring banquet is we are doing similar work in that we are all working in the various pro-life ministries, but he has had slightly different experience with some things. Tracy and I actually had an opportunity to hear him speak at conference last year, and he is engaging and charismatic, and it was one of those times where you're watching this person speak, and I had that moment where I was just like, man, I really wish he could be our speaker next year, and things just kind of fell into place where.
And we thought we had a speaker lined up
Yeah.
for this year, and we contacted them, and the person that we were hoping to get was not available.
Yeah.
And then we started looking at our second choice, and it wasn't necessarily a bad choice, but it just wasn't the one we really wanted to make. And at the Heartbeat International Conference last year, Sean did speak. And afterwards, it was one of those where Delaney and I were sitting at a table, and we had that moment of, we need to have him come to speak at our banquet. And so when our plans for our speaker for this year's banquet didn't turn out as we expected, it was very quickly, it was easy to land on, who would be great. And Sean he is so charismatic. He is so... he's pro-life, but he's just engaging. He's someone you enjoy listening to. I think at the conference last year, he spoke for about 15 to 20 minutes, and it felt like 5. And you're really sort of sitting there going, okay, no, we don't have to go to our next workshop. We want to hear more. And so that's what we're excited about, is that it's a very uplifting message. We have had some speakers in the past that have spoken about some hard, difficult things, and those are important messages. Those are important things to talk about, because there is a lot of hurt and recovery when you look at those that have experienced the choice of abortion. But we also are in a very victorious position too. There's lives being saved. We are winning. There are people who are not only making the choice for life for their child that they're carrying, but they're making the choice for eternal life for themselves through the initiative of what we do, what 40 Days for Life does. As a matter of fact, they have a pregnancy center that's right by the Planned Parenthood, as I mentioned, which Abby walked out of and came across to them. But there are about 2,500 to 2,700 pregnancy help centers in the United States, about 5,000 worldwide, and just in the U.S. we are touching more than 2.5 million lives a year, and so when people look, I think a lot of times when we look at the numbers of those lives that are dying in abortion clinics every year, it seems overwhelming. But then there's a counterbalance of we know that a little less than 1 million died last year in abortion clinics, but we know that we have the opportunity to touch more than 2.5 million lives. And those are the direct contacts. That's not the ripple effect of maybe the father of the baby who didn't come through, or the mother of that young girl, or the grandmother, or the best friend that walked into the clinic for that pregnancy test with their roommate. There's so many other lives exponentially that are being touched that a lot of times people tell us, I just pray for you guys. I know what you do is so hard, and there's times that it is. But there are times that what we're doing is the best job you could ask for.
Right.
It is awesome. We get to see victory all the time. We get to see lives changed and lives saved all the time.
And,
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. And like Tracy said, when you look at the numbers, they're just staggering, and it can seem overwhelming. But one of the things we have an opportunity to do on a daily basis is help our clients and the people that come with them discover hope, which is one of the reasons we've made that our theme for this year. New Hope has been in the community for 30 years, and it's amazing how many people have never either heard of us or don't understand the full extent of our services. And we do have the medical programs. We have the ultrasounds, and we have the nurse-verified pregnancy tests. We have the Earn While You Learn program for the materials assistance, and we have auxiliary programs for, ladies who have experienced a miscarriage, or for post-abortive counseling, for mentorship for young fathers. And at the at the heart of it, we are these homeland missionaries. So on every aspect of New Hope services, we are helping them discover hope in one way or another.
And that's why our banquet is so important, because as we're doing this and as our ministry has grown, so has our expenses and our budget. And there are so many people in the community that love what we do. They refer people to us, and they've stood with us, sometimes financially, sometimes through prayer, sometimes as material donors. But we really need our community to not only continue standing with us, but to get even more engaged. Our imprint and impact in this community is getting bigger, but with that, that means in order to sustain what we're doing, that budget's getting bigger too. And so it's very, very important that events such as our banquet that we're going to be having on April 13th be successful.
Right.
Yeah, and if whether you are a regular attendee of the banquet or you want to come and check it out for the first time, we have tickets available now. They are $45 individual, and then I think $350 for a table of 8.
Yes.
And they can contact me at developmentdir@newhopepcc.org or by calling 423-479-6683 extension 7. It's a lot to remember, but we also have it on our website.
The easiest thing to do is just Google New Hope, Cleveland, Tennessee.
Yeah.
We'll come up, and then you can go to our website and find all of that information.
And then also, I'll put this up on the screen. It's, you have actually 2 websites, and I'll
We
put
do.
both of them up there. We have clevelandtandpregnancy.com.
It's for our clients.
That's for
Yes.
the clients. That's a client site, and then you also have newhopepcc.org.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
you can go to the websites and check out the information. And actually, if you scroll down on the website, there is some information. There's an events tab. Find out some more information about New Hope, the team that they have there, and then some of the events that they have coming up. So again, that's newhopepcc.org, or for clients, clevelandtandpregnancy.com. So you can check those out.
And I love the picture with the baby. You
Oh.
know, that's who the battle's for, to me. And you guys are fighting a battle in all of the pregnancy care centers across the country and the world. And anyway, I commend you guys for all the hard work you do. And yes, get out there and support their banquet in April 13th, Thursday at First Baptist Cleveland.
Yes.
It's a great venue.
And we'll throw this up on the screen there.
Oh,
Yes.
awesome. You
That's-
guys are on it.
The best picture.
So and they will have a guest speaker, Sean Carney of 40 Days for Life. Individual tickets, again, $45. Tables of 8, $350. You can contact Delaney at New Hope Pregnancy Care Center to get some more information or to sign up for a table and bring some
Absolutely.
friends.
Yes, and we have like groups. Sometimes the Sunday school class will choose to sponsor a table, and then out of that Sunday school class, 4 couples choose to go. Sometimes it looks overwhelming if you go, I'm going to sponsor a table, and then I have to get 6 other people there other than just my spouse and I. But it can really be broken down into very digestible bites.
Yeah.
And honestly, it is such a great event, and we do have such a good reputation in this community. It's really not that hard to get people to come to a New Hope banquet. And a lot of our people that are going to be there have been there year after year because they enjoy it that much. We will actually have people, if we don't get our information out fast enough, they're going to call us and go, isn't it time for the banquet? Can I go ahead and get my table?
Right.
Because they want to make sure they don't miss out on the opportunity. So it is definitely one that we would love to see new people engaged in, and more people in this community that believe in the sanctity of human life, believe that a couple or a young woman facing an unplanned pregnancy needs help. We want those people to find out more about us and not only come to our banquet, but give us a call, go to our website, come by our office. We'll be happy to give you a tour, show you around. And as Delaney mentioned, a lot of people do not understand how big the scope of what we do is. They imagine we're doing pregnancy tests and we're talking with them about their options. It is so much more than that, because after they make their decision, we're going to partner with them to help them not only choose life for their child, but choose a better life for themselves.
Right. Well, I feel like you guys should be getting monies that other organizations are getting, because you are in the business of saving lives. And I
Yes.
think that's a worthy cause to support. So anyway,
And I want to throw this up on the screen just one more time. So
Oh,
if you
there he is.
if you want to go see Sean Carney speak, he will be the guest speaker at the event Thursday, April 13th at First Baptist Cleveland, right off Stewart Road. Seating at 6 o'clock. Dinner at 6:30.
Yes.
So and you can go to newhopepcc.org, go to their website, get some more information. Contact Delaney today. Get yourself a table. Bring 6 friends.
Yes.
And hang out and have a good time with some good folks.
Awesome.
That's great. Thank you guys for being
thank
here
you
and
for
sharing
having
with
us.
us again today. And we know you'll be back.
We will.
Good friends. We will be right back after this break.
If you gotta start somewhere, won't